Hey guys, it's Samantha. I wanted to talk about a few things when it comes to fibromyalgia. Yes, we know it has a lot of signs and symptoms, but there's also something that I don't know if everybody knows, but obviously, depression and anxiety is one thing that can definitely be caused either before fibromyalgia, or fibromyalgia can make it worse. And even though they don't really know what causes fibromyalgia, I can definitely tell you in my experience, after my pregnancy, during my pregnancy, it was fine. After my pregnancy, I was fine. Then I got into a severe-ish car accident, and I tensed up all my muscles, and then it kind of came back with a vengeance. I noticed that my flares and stuff get a whole lot worse when I'm under a lot of stress. And we all know money and other things are things that people stress about a lot. If you do not have a good support system, that's also stressful. I mean, you're the only person laying down at night in a lot of pain. You're walking around, some people walk around at a 5 or a 6 on the 1 to 10 pain scale every single day. And it's not until you hit that 9 or 10 threshold that you go ahead and have to get checked out. Or I will use the voodoo doll method all the time, where I'm laying in bed and there's clearly nothing there, but it feels like somebody has just jacked me with a knife in certain parts of my body, and I will jump. I happen to be blessed. My husband, I don't think anybody can understand unless they have fibromyalgia, but my husband understands that I have limits. And I try to remind him when things are really, really bad. But just looking at the different things that are available. So my psychiatrist, this is new. It's the first time I had ever heard of it. But when they're trying to put you on an antidepressant or anxiety medication, there's a genetic thing that they can do to see which medicines work well for you. So, for instance, I have genetic mutations in my body that do not work well with Cymbalta or, I forgot the name of the medication, it starts with an L. But the fibromyalgia medications, my body does not work well with them. Certain pain medications, my body doesn't work well with. Certain antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications don't work well. Now, I'm not saying there is a magical drug by any stretch of the imagination. Me personally, amitriptyline has been amazing. It helps me sleep at night. It helps with irritable bowel syndrome. It helps with a lot of different things, guys. And I don't know, this is going to sound really weird, but when I get a colonoscopy, so I just turned 32, when I got a colonoscopy, it's like it's a reset on my irritable bowel. And for almost a month to 2 months, I feel a whole lot better than I ever have. But try not to listen to those people who say, oh, well, if you only lost weight, or oh, if you only ate well, that's great. But my stomach is so messed up with this fibromyalgia stuff and everything else that's going on that the only thing that I can really eat without having a huge reaction to is Taco Bell, which is the opposite for everybody else pretty much in this world. You have to be an advocate for your body, and don't listen to those people that are healthy and doing what's right for their weight and for their body and what they want to do. We have enough to stress over. Like, obviously, depression comes with fibromyalgia, because if you weren't depressed before, not being able to do things, not being able to get out of bed, hurting all the time, not having people believe you, of course it's going to make it stressful. And then if you're not able to work, that makes it more stressful. So, because you're not bringing the income in that you need to bring in for your family. And that's really hard to deal with too. And where there's a will, there's a way. I don't know if most people have looked at this, but if you've worked for a company long enough and you've been paying for short-term disability and long-term disability, sometimes that long-term disability is a whole lot better than the government disability, guys. So you really just have to look into your options, be your own advocate. But there's a caveat to being your own advocate. You need to make sure when you go to the emergency room, right, because we have problems with pain medication, you need to make sure you're not pointing everything out to the doctor. You can let them know what you have, but I have learned firsthand that unfortunately, you have to dress a certain way when you go to the emergency room. I mean, I go in the most raggedy clothes because I don't feel well. I want to put on what's comfortable. But they look at you differently because they've had too many people walk through those doors and abuse the system. You have to make sure that if you know something, like, okay, Phenergan doesn't work for me, but Zofran does, you can let them know that, right? Because that's nausea medication. But you want to make sure that you are not going, oh, well, you need to use morphine instead of Dilaudid because Dilaudid doesn't work for me. You need to not come straight out with da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da right there. And here's another thing, guys. Most fibromyalgia patients, we're so used to handling pain on a regular basis, even when it's extreme pain, we might not be doubled over. We might not be looking like we're in pain. You need to make sure that they're aware of whatever hurts. Okay? I've noticed that's a big thing too. When you go in to the emergency room. And try not to go to the emergency room, but you know your body. You know your body more than anybody else. You know if that pain is something way different than what you've ever experienced before. Trust your instincts. Don't let anybody put you down or make you upset. You can do this. You will get through this. And I know it's cliche, and I know there's a lot of songs out there, but what doesn't kill you will make you stronger. And if you got out of bed today, then you did way more than some other people can do. And just think about it that way. Think about the things you can do and try not to focus on what you can't do. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.